Now, millions of South African children desperately need early childhood development. It's estimated that around 6 million children between up to the age of 3 do not have access to early learning. Now, it's for this particular reason that the HCI Foundation is calling on government to invest in ECD projects and innovation. Malusi Ntoyapi joins us now from our Cape Town studio to discuss this. Malusi, good morning to you, and thank you so much for your time. The question is, why ECD? Why has the foundation found it important to particularly focus on ECD?
Good morning, Siswam, and also to your viewers at home. Thank you very much for having me. Well, early childhood development is very much important because we all know that actually if our children don't have like a good early start, they are bound not to do very well academically in school later. That's why then you'll see that high numbers of dropout are very high in South Africa, and then also you see that actually many grade 12s actually don't even pass grade 12, or others actually don't even make it to grade 12. So as a foundation, actually then we invest a lot of money and efforts towards making sure that all South African children can access high quality early learning, also with actually qualified practitioners that can work with them. So that's why that is very much important for us.
Yeah, and besides money and funds, I mean, Malusi, it seems you're investing a lot of time here, because I understand that for at least the next 5 years, you'd be centered around developing ECDs, making sure that children have the best in maximizing their potential and excellence from a young age all the way to primary and beyond.
I think what can I say about around that actually is that we know that all children actually are born with potential. For that potential to be realized, children need to be in environments that are nurturing and that are also conducive for them to learn and develop all their kind of cognitive skills, intellectual, and also that they can do better in school. So hence then as a foundation, then our work focuses on actually we want to build capacity within the sector, with the workforce, like the practitioners, the principals, and also making sure that actually in those ECD centers, children are offered high quality early learning, and also they are stimulated, and also play is used as means of learning, because we know that actually if children actually by the time they go to school, the system expects them to be somewhere ahead, whether they could be able to hold a pencil, actually they could also read. But we know that many South African children from poor backgrounds, in particular many black children, actually don't have access to high quality early learning, So then what we are attempting to do here is to make sure that actually no child is left behind, because actually all children have a right to education and also have a right to care. And again, we know that if children don't have that early start, that they are not given that opportunity so that they can realize their potential, then they will tend not to do very well later in life. So there is a correlation with kind of our firm foundations of learning and also a child succeeding later in life, Yeah. So hence our focus as a foundation, we say, okay, cool, we need to develop a hub of centers of excellence, where actually children are stimulated, and also those centers are connected to schools, local schools, and also parents are also involved, because we have this notion that says actually it takes the whole village to raise a child. So hence, even as the foundation, actually we work with many stakeholders, and we say parents are the first teachers of their own children. Hence then we believe that there is a value for parents to play, there is a value for government to play, and also actually the centers themselves.
Right.
But we know that actually the ECD sector actually is not very well cared for by government, if you will compare their budget-wise and also the efforts that are being put forward to, So as the foundation, we're also doing something to contribute to improving actually quality learning for all children in South Africa.
Absolutely, and I understand that, your emphasis is also on the public to further support you as a foundation, as the HCI Foundation, but even other NGOs that have similar work, because COVID-19, I think, has also just, distracted the work and further, sort of disadvantage, rather is the word I'm looking for, disadvantage those parents, teachers, and young children that need the assistance, to reach their maximum potential.
Yeah, certainly. Many NGOs actually that work in the sector, like ECD Training and Resource Organization, they are all over, like Kululeka, Center for Early Child Development, and others, Sepang. They are currently struggling because of course, they have to go to lockdown, and also because they are donor fund in terms of how then to run their operations. And also, actually, the high impact of that, children did not access early learning for very long time, whether 6 months during the hard lockdown. But actually, we also need to celebrate those NGOs that were working very much hard to make sure that they divert the resources into homes, because we know that actually every day matters in terms of making sure that our children are ready for schooling, formal schooling. So, well, we call all South Africans actually to support those NGOs, and even like South Africans to support like local ECD centers around where they stay, and just to see how they can also assist, because actually those NGOs and with those centers, they cannot actually succeed by themselves, but they need all of us to back them so that we all make sure that our children actually realize their potential through the support we offer to the children and also the practitioners themselves, which is actually, I must say that we really celebrate the practitioners that work so hard during the lockdown, and also those literacy or rather ECD organizations that work so hard to make sure that children still continue to learn at home, whether it was via WhatsApp or other mediums. Yeah.
All right. Well, Malusi, thank you so much for joining us and, placing such an important voice on this important issue. Malusi Ntoyapi from HCI Foundation.